Philip, I love you, my man. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. This is Sajid. Most of you know me as the Spirited in the digital world. I travel around the world, jumping off mountains, buildings, antennas, wind turbines, paramotors, whatever and whichever I can find accessible. This year, I was able to travel to Norway and Sweden, and I thought it's the best time to start vlogging. So here we are. Towards the end of August, I was able to go to this region in South Sweden called as Skåne. I've known Philip and John for the past few years, and of course Mikkel and Joran. And Philip does a lot of low object jumps in the Skåne region. And I wanted to really challenge myself and learn that style of jumping because I'm more comfortable doing mountain base or jumping of paramotors, you know, because you have enough height to figure out any kind of issue that happens. And so we made a plan that while I'm there, we tackle some unique local objects that they usually jump. And it was such a beautiful experience for me because I got to learn a lot, including from my mistakes, which I had no idea I was making. Interestingly, Skydive Skåne is also run by Sebastien, who happened to be my first early base jumping mentor, where he took me on a wind turbine jump along with some other people somewhere around the Halmstad region, and that was such a unique experience for me. Over the course of so I was there in Skåne for like almost 5 days or so, and over the course of those 5 days I was able to get 3 base jumps, one of an antenna which was some 115 meter high. The next was a wind turbine which was 105 meters, and the third one was even a bigger wind turbine like 135 meters. And each of these jumps, they were unique also because from the first 2 jumps there was some learning that happened which I had no idea. Like if I was jumping by myself, I would have never figured that out, but I'm glad Philip and John were there who questioned me about certain things that were happening in the jump, which you will see as the video progresses, and we were able to gladly resolve that and in the process make me a better and more aware jumper.
Oh, hell yeah!
The day I rode to Skydive Skåne, I was really tired because I had left early in the morning and it was a long ride, and I wanted to rest. And Philip asked me if I felt like jumping in the evening. We had enough time, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see as the day progresses. So I didn't push myself, but I started feeling better afternoon, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me pack my parachute and let's do it.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
So that evening we drove to the antenna site, and John drove in his car. That same evening I got to meet Lena and Hanna. In fact, Lena is the one who has designed Mule, and she gifted me one, and I really love it. This would be my first antenna jump, which means out of the BASE, I have done B buildings in Malaysia. Antenna would be my first now. Span I've never done, so that's remaining. And Earth, which are mountains, of course, I keep doing. So it was time to tackle antenna. The weather was really nice. It was not windy, where we were standing, but as we got higher, the winds, we could feel the winds a bit. The antenna was also a really unique structure. Like the guy wires were not like your usual super long wires, but rather they were close to the antenna. And as you get higher, you can feel the vibrations as you're climbing through the ladder. John was the one to lead, I was in the middle, and Philip was in the bottom just in case I fell and he would catch me. Nah, just kidding. He wouldn't catch me, he would just like let me go. No, he would catch me.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So we reached the top and we were all feeling good. John was the first one to go. In fact, for John, it was a redemption jump because he had some issues in the past, but he had a really cool jump. I watched his exit, Philip watched his exit. Then it was my turn because I wanted Philip to just guide me with the process. I was going to do a handheld jump, which means I hold the pilot chute, the first thing that we throw, in my hand, and the bridle is behind me, and I'm completely stable in my exit, and I deploy, and everything should work as it's supposed to. The parachute opens in the right direction. As I mentioned earlier, it was a bit windy, so that was making me slightly nervous. Also, I was using my 360 camera with the small extension, which I had asked Philip, like, is it okay? And we had a discussion over it because if he would have said no, I wouldn't have used it. But because it was an antenna and we could change our direction where we were jumping from, and as long as I kept my head away from my deployment hand, I should be okay. And that's exactly what we did. Philip, yeah? I love you, my man. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man. I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine.
Oh my God, John!
I just do what I was destined, cause I feel I got the blessing. Persistence and obsession, that's how you keep progressing. I already learned that lesson, yeah. Don't change it.
There was an interesting observation once I deployed and the way my parachute opened and how I flew. Philippe noticed that I was pushed back quite a lot, and I've never really paid attention to these things because I don't jump much in high winds anyways. But there was an observation he had, and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe because I have a lower wing loading, I have a big parachute, so high winds push me back. We let it go on that jump. But it gets interesting in the next jump.
Nice.
The next day, we decided to head to the wind turbine, which was the closest. It's a 105-meter object, and I was going to do a handheld. I knew that beforehand because it was a new object for me, and I didn't want to experiment much. Again, it was a windy evening. This wind turbine wasn't functional, which means the blades were moving, but only because winds were pushing the blades from certain direction. But this was, because it wasn't working, it was a great opportunity for John, Philip to do a blade walk, which looks really cool. And I thought I could do it, but the blade started coming up so fast, I freaked out and I just walked back and jumped from the backside, which kind of worked in my favor because there was something that happened during this jump. So John went first, Philip followed, and I was there by myself. So I prepped my bridle, I prepped my pilot chute, and got ready. I just composed myself again, thought of my friends and people I usually think of before jumping. Okay, this is perfect. Hey Nils, I know you really enjoyed turbines. So my dear friend, this one is for you. Okay, let's do this. And I jumped, I deployed, and suddenly I noticed I started flying back. And I could see the mast of the windmill on my right hand side. I could see the blade moving with the winds further on the further right. And so I decided to take a left turn, but again, this was a mistake I did. I pulled only my left toggle. I didn't pull the right one in time, and because I pulled only the left one, the right, it took a right turn since it was stowed. And then I pulled that one again, and Luckily, I was able to fly in between the mast and the blade, and nothing happened. Philippe and John thought I did it on purpose, but of course I did not. I told them that. And now the questioning started. And so Philippe was like, why are you flying so much back? I mean, they've jumped in high winds and it's not supposed to happen this much. And I'm like, yeah, because I put my brakes into the deepest setting while packing my parachute, which is the third one. And Philippe was like, that's a custom brake setting. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Because the rig that I have was bought from a friend of mine, and apparently they had that setting on their rig. And I always thought, because I don't do much of low jumping, I thought it's the safer setting, but not always. Because maybe if I would have jumped from the blade or closer to the mast, I would have probably flown into the mast and hit it. And that would be bad. Or I'd be stuck on the blade and carried up. That would be even worse. We were able to identify the problem. And I hope whoever is watching this video also is aware of these things, and especially if you're a new jumper and or you've bought a used rig, or you have 3 brake settings and you didn't know this. I didn't know this.
Stop it. Get some help.
But luckily, and this is I guess it was a blessing that I was able to jump with Philippe and John, who were able to problem solve this and ask me the right questions, and I'm very thankful to them. And so now I knew what not to do, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to jump with these guys to make sure we are understanding all these. If any issue pops up, we're able to solve them. Next is jump number 3, which was the most epic jump of them all.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect.
But before that, it was a lovely day, and I think it was a Sunday and or Saturday, I don't remember. And we decided to skydive. Thanks to Philippe for lending me his really cool rig. And we did a 7-way, I think a 6 or 7-way, I keep forgetting. But it was a really cool jump that morning.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all
And then in the evening, it was time again to find our bigger wind turbine, which was 135 meter high, and that's like really tall. So it was a bit of a challenge to get to the back of the turbine. On the top, we had to climb certain stuff, but with John, having John there, it was a breeze, I would say. And John was the first one to jump.
Nice one, John.
Philippe and I decided to do a 2-way. We always love to do these fun jumps. And he was the one ahead. He would give the countdown and I would follow him. He would pull lower, I would pull higher.
That's what she said.
Love you, bro.
Pleasure jumping with you always.
You too.
Love you, man.
Love you too, man. Fucking slide down 2-way, okay? Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay,
Oh, what's the countdown again? 3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Okay. And same thing, looking at the horizon, right?
Yeah, just look
Okay.
at the horizon and enjoy your jump.
Cool.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, base!
That took forever!
And that was such a cool jump. Like, it's definitely one of my favorite jumps. Almost all my jumps with Philip are my favorite jumps. And that was the last base jump I did in Sweden before heading back.
Woo!
Once again, I would really like to thank John, Philip, Kathrin, Lena, Hanna for making my and Sebastien, of course, and me for making my stay at Skydive Skåne so memorable. I do hope to come back over there and do some more jumps. In fact, if you guys are watching this, you have to visit Skydive Skåne. It's one of the coolest drop zones, and the people are really cool and super chill. Thank you once again for watching this vlog. I hope to make more and hopefully impart more knowledge and showcase more fun stories, fun people, and fun places around the world. See you guys.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside.